Do we truly understand the greatness of the Colosseum, a structure that has stood for nearly 2,000 years? Perhaps you've heard a lot about the Colosseum, but did you know that it's more than just an arena? It's a living witness to history where fierce battles, life and death contests, and glorious victories once unfolded at our feet. Imagine when you step into the Colosseum, you're not just seeing an ancient structure, you're entering a world, a story where everything holds a secret of its own, a place that tells the tales of the entire history of the Roman Empire. The Colosseum, with its giant statue of Nero standing 30 meters tall, was once a symbol of Roman power. From this statue, the name Colosseum was born. The name Colosseum isn't just a reference to a stone structure. It's a timeless legacy of a mighty empire, where the mark of Rome still stretches across the centuries. But did you know that behind the stone arches and the grand victories, there's a story just as mysterious? A place where the power and lives of millions once intersected. More than just an arena, the Colosseum is a living testament to the past, capturing monumental moments and unforgettable battles. It doesn't only reflect the might of Rome, but also immortalizes the glory, sacrifice, and tragedy in the flow of history. Get ready, because you're about to embark on a journey back in time, where every stone in the Colosseum holds a story you've never heard before. In 64 AD, the city of Rome was ravaged by a great fire, and many believe that Nero had deliberately started the blaze to clear the way for his personal projects. Afterward, Nero constructed the Golden Palace, the Domus Aurea, with thousands of rooms, artificial lakes, and a 30-meter statue of himself. But this extravagance, while the people suffered in poverty, became an insult to the Roman citizens. Nero's death in 68 AD, following a military rebellion, ended the reign of an emperor whose name became synonymous with destruction and insatiable greed. Then, like a breath of fresh air sweeping through the empire, Vespasian, the founder of the Flavian dynasty, ascended to the throne. After Nero's death, Vespasian not only took power, but also embraced a monumental mission to rebuild Rome and restore the strength of the empire. But he did so not with lavish palaces like the Domus Aurea, but with a grand project, an eternal symbol of power and greatness, the Colosseum. For Vespasian, Rome's goal wasn't just to rebuild the city from the ashes of war and ruin. It was also to firmly assert the empire's eternal strength. The creation of the Colosseum wasn't just an architectural feat, it was a declaration of power and resilience. It was a reminder to the world that Rome stood tall, stronger than ever before. The Colosseum was born a wonder designed not just to impress, but also to assert the greatness and lasting legacy of the entire history of the Roman Empire. When Vespasian ascended to the throne, he faced a Rome in ruins, devastated by the ambitions and excesses of Nero. But rather than merely rebuilding what had been destroyed, Vespasian had a broader vision, a vision not just of restoration, but of a declaration of the power and eternal nature of the Roman Empire. And it was in the very place where Nero had lived in extravagant luxury, with his golden palace and artificial lakes, that Vespasian's decision was symbolized. Vespasian decided to transform the ruined site of the Domus Aurea into a public monument, accessible to all Romans, no longer the exclusive domain of a single emperor. A monumental project, not just a display of power, but also a symbol of generosity and fairness, allowing every citizen, from the nobility to the common people, to enter and experience the might of Rome. The decision to build the Colosseum wasn't just a political strategy, it was a proclamation of eternity. Vespasian didn't just build a giant arena, he built a symbol, a legacy, a statement that Rome would always be a great empire, not just in power but in the hearts of its people. It was a structure for the people, to let them feel the strength of the empire even in moments of entertainment, in life or death battles, and in glorious victories. The Colosseum, a structure that not only can be seen from the outside, but can also make you feel the empire's power in every stone, every detail built with utmost respect and affection for humanity, regardless of social class. When Vespasian decided to transform Rome into a grand symbol, not just of power, but also of creativity, the Colosseum began to take shape with a scale and grandeur that even future generations would marvel at. It was a monumental feat requiring coordination of technology, skill, and immense labor. But what's especially remarkable is that the tools the Romans used to construct it were far different from what we would expect today. Roman workers used hand tools such as wooden cranes and ox-drawn carts to transport and lift heavy travertine blocks from Tivoli to Rome, creating a structure that was both beautiful and durable. A single mistake could have caused the entire project to collapse, but the Romans, with their ingenuity and patience, built every stone and detail with remarkable precision. The Colosseum isn't just a building, it's a masterpiece of art and engineering. Roman engineers blended tradition with innovation, using cutting-edge techniques to create something extraordinary, a feat that would stand as a testament to the entire history of the Roman Empire. Travertine stone, a durable material that was easy to cut and shape, was used for the exterior, but inside, the engineers used a perfect combination of limestone and brick, creating a balance between lightness and strength, allowing the Colosseum to bear immense weight without collapsing. This creativity enabled them to build the Colosseum quickly and efficiently. In just 8 years under the reign of Vespasian's son Titus, the construction was completed. 8 years, a short time for a project of such scale. And when the Colosseum was inaugurated in 80 AD, it was not just an architectural wonder. It was a perfect blend of engineering, technology, and a grand vision, proving that even without modern machinery, the Romans were able to create timeless marvels. The ingenuity in material usage, the combination of classical techniques with groundbreaking innovations, made the Colosseum not only monumental, but also incredibly durable. It stands as a testament to the Romans' remarkable ability to create legacies that could endure for millennia. When you step into the Colosseum, you're not just seeing a colossal structure, you're witnessing a perfect system, a mechanism designed to serve tens of thousands of people. One of the greatest technical details of the Colosseum is the system of vomitoria, special exit and entranceways that allowed 70,000 people to enter and exit in just a few minutes. This system operates like a sophisticated mechanism, efficiently circulating crowds to ensure no chaos during crowded events. It's such an innovative design that even today we still use this concept in modern stadiums. These vomitoria are more than just passageways. They reflect a deep understanding of space and human coordination. Each entrance is clearly numbered, much like the way we designate sections in modern stadiums, making it easy for people to find their seats without confusion. This shows the strategic vision of the Romans in organizing a vast, crowded public space. Inside the Colosseum, the seating areas reflected the social hierarchy of Rome, with important people like the nobility and officials seated near the arena to witness the bloody battles. The higher up you went, the more common the people were, such as knights and plebeians, and at the very top were slaves, freedmen, and women. Each seating area not only reflected power and status, but was designed for convenience. Every citizen had the right to attend, and no matter their social class, everyone could experience the dramatic atmosphere of the Colosseum. But the most notable aspect of this design is its ability to transform the arena into a legendary stage, where not only gladiator battles took place, but also highly dramatic and grandiose action scenes. The Colosseum wasn't just a venue for games, it was a grand theater. Each battle and performance was meticulously staged, with directors controlling every detail of the match. The gladiatorial battles weren't just life or death duels. They were plays, living works of art performed on the stage of a great empire. The elevators and underground mechanisms allowed wild animals, soldiers, and gladiators in elaborate costumes to appear, creating unforgettable scenes that thrilled, cheered, and excited the crowd. The Colosseum was a living entertainment machine, a space where human senses were intensely stimulated. Each event here wasn't just a game, but a symbol of Rome's strength, a place for rulers to display their power and convey the message that their empire would endure forever. When the walls of the Colosseum echoed with applause, it wasn't just entertainment, it was life or death battles, dangerous games, and unforgettable performances. Here, each event was a drama, each battle a thrilling artistic performance. We begin with the venaciones, the hunts battles between hunters and wild beasts, lions, tigers, leopards, bears, even elephants, all brought from distant lands, from regions of Europe that had never been seen before. Brought up from the Colosseum's underground levels, these fierce wild animals created a spectacle that no one could take their eyes off. The hunters, sometimes slaves or skilled warriors, had to fight not just to win, but to save their own lives. The tension in the air made every strike, every roar of the beast, an essential part of this grand performance. The crowd erupted in cheers when a lion was brought down, or when a hunter finally defeated a bloodthirsty opponent. Next came the gladiatorial battles, not just fights for survival, but for glory and fame. The gladiators, strong men, often slaves or prisoners of war, though sometimes volunteers willing to risk their lives for the chance to be honored by the crowd, fought with everything they had. In the arena, there was no distinction, only strength and skill. The battles were perfectly staged, with highly dramatic details. A gladiator, clad in shining armor, wielding a sturdy weapon, fought against a stronger opponent, or battled with a classic weapon like a short sword, all of which were essential parts of these life and death struggles. Behind every victory and defeat was a story of life and death. Gladiators faced the greatest threat, death itself, but not all of them met a tragic end. If they won enough battles, they could earn their freedom, become heroes in the eyes of the crowd, and even receive worship as gods. However, these men had only one choice: fight or die. We cannot forget the legends of famous gladiators, like Spartacus, who rebelled against Rome, or Flamma, who fought for 13 years in hundreds of battles and survived to be granted freedom by the emperor. Each fight in the Colosseum was like a classical play, where not only strength, but courage, intelligence, and sometimes unexpected situations played a part. The warriors didn't just fight for themselves, they were part of the emperor's game of power, where life and death decisions were made with just a wave of the hand or a finger's gesture from the emperor. Another dramatic tale is that of the fights where gladiators faced one another in an unimaginable situation: the thumbs up and thumbs down. In one fight, a gladiator, after defeating his opponent, knelt down waiting for the judgment of the crowd. Then the roar of the crowd erupted, with thousands of voices chanting either live or sweeping away the fate of the warriors. It was pure drama, a battle not only of physical strength, but also of psychology. When such battles occurred, it wasn't just the warriors. Even the crowd became part of the performance. The Colosseum was not merely an arena. It was a space where the power of the empire was displayed through every fight, every life or death decision. And behind each battle, there were stories of sacrifice, courage, and the price of glory. While the Colosseum is a marvel of architecture and art, it was not just a place for entertainment. It was also a powerful tool of control, used by the Roman emperors to maintain dominance over the masses. When we look at the tense battles, the dramatic hunts, and the spectacular performances, there's something most people overlook. All of this entertainment served a deeper purpose to maintain the loyalty of the people and prevent rebellion. In a society as unequal as Rome, where the divide between the rich and poor was stark, the Colosseum became an effective tool for controlling the masses, preventing unrest between the people and the emperors. When the crowd cheered enthusiastically for the battles and hunts, they forgot about the social issues and dissatisfaction they might have felt toward the government. The Colosseum became a symbol of power, not just because of its colossal size or the grand games, but because it helped maintain order in society. A famous Roman saying, panem et circenses, bread and circuses, clearly reflects the purpose that the Colosseum served. Emperors like Vespasian and Titus knew well that if they could provide two things to the people, food, bread, and entertainment, circuses, they could keep the masses busy and satisfied, preventing rebellion and discontent. Bread was the way to prevent famine and ensure the survival of the people, while circuses referred to the fights, hunts, and battles in the Colosseum, which not only entertained the population, but also kept them loyal to the empire, dependent on it. For the poor, these entertainments weren't just games, they were an opportunity to be part of the great empire. So when we think of the Colosseum, let's not just view it as a place of entertainment. The Colosseum was a tool for social control. It helped the Roman Empire not only entertain the people, but also keep them silent and content, while the emperors continued to rule with a firm hand. They created a system where people not only lived through peaceful times, but could also imagine and immerse themselves in an eternal empire, where social conflicts seemed to vanish under the glow of the grand games. Bread and circuses weren't just about satisfying basic needs. They were a strategy of power, a way for Roman emperors to maintain stability in the empire, while asserting the greatness and authority of Rome before the world. And in every fight, in each hunt, the people didn't just witness the death of gladiators or wild beasts, they unwittingly witnessed the survival of the Roman regime itself. When the Roman Empire fell, the Colosseum was no longer the symbol of power and glory it once was. After the collapse of one of the most powerful empires in history, this great structure began to fade into obscurity. Throughout the 5th century and the following eras, the Colosseum slowly became abandoned, no longer the venue for magnificent battles or thrilling events, but a crumbling monument amidst the unpredictable shifts of history. During the medieval period, as Rome lost its former prosperity, the Colosseum no longer maintained its original role. It gradually transformed into a fortress, a refuge for the poor, those with nowhere else to turn. The sturdy walls, once witnesses to countless victories and tragedies, now sheltered the lives of the destitute and the lost. From a place of grandeur and spectacle, the Colosseum had become a somber space, devoid of the light of its former glory. But the destruction of the Colosseum didn't stop at neglect. The precious stones, the enormous travertine blocks that once glistened under the sun, were taken away to build other structures. The fragments of the Colosseum were repurposed into materials for constructing churches, public buildings, and even new palaces. Notably, the stone from the Colosseum was used to build St. Peter's Basilica, one of the most important religious structures in Vatican City. A great monument of the past was looted to serve new constructions, but it also symbolized the continuation of history, despite the pain and loss. Though the Colosseum was ravaged and many of its materials taken, its spirit would never fade. The ancient walls still hold within them untold stories, the sounds of applause, the cries of the crowd, and the footsteps of brave warriors. Despite being exploited, destroyed, or abandoned, the Colosseum still lives on in the memories of people. And so, despite the many trials it has endured, it stands as a testament to the eternity of Rome, a city that never truly dies, even when all that remains is a pile of ruins. The Colosseum once symbolized power and glory, and even though time has dulled that brilliance, this structure remains a living witness to history where the past and present converge, leaving us with stories we can never forget. By the 18th century, the Colosseum entered a new chapter in its history. After centuries of neglect and decay, it was no longer merely a place that evoked memories of Roman victories and gladiatorial contests. Instead, it became a symbol of martyrdom, a sacred site connected to those who died for their faith, especially the early Christians who were martyred here during the Church's formative years. The Catholics viewed the Colosseum as a sacred site where the battles fought were not for glory, but for religious faith. Because of this, in the 18th century, under the influence of the popes, the Colosseum became a place of pilgrimage, where many devotees came to pay homage to the martyrs. The fact that the Colosseum was regarded as a symbol of martyrdom not only preserved the memory of these courageous individuals, but also revived a part of the spiritual essence of this monument in the hearts of the people. In the 19th century, with the powerful wave of the Renaissance revival, the Colosseum began to undergo significant change. Later generations recognized the cultural and historical value of this great structure, and they began efforts to preserve it. Restoration projects were undertaken under the supervision of scholars, engineers, and historians to halt the decay of time and help the Colosseum maintain its eternal grandeur. The Colosseum is not merely a stone structure, it is a heritage of all humanity. By the end of the 19th century, after much restoration and preservation work, the monument officially became a national symbol of Italy. After Italy's unification, the Colosseum was considered a powerful testament to the pride and strength of the new nation. It not only reflected the greatness of ancient Rome, but also became an integral part of the journey to establish modern Italy. From an abandoned ruin, the Colosseum transformed into a must-see landmark on the world's tourist map and a vital part of Italy's cultural life. Through its restoration process, it has not only preserved the image of a glorious era, but also became a symbol of the resilient rise of a nation from the ruins of the past to a bright future. Today, the Colosseum is more than just a tourist destination. It's a living symbol of eternity, a monument to the entire history of the Roman Empire, showcasing both its rise and fall. It tells the story of what once was and the power of recovery, of rising from history's ashes. The Colosseum is not just a building, it is an inseparable part of the history of Rome, Italy, and all of humanity. The Colosseum has withstood the test of time, witnessing bloody battles. But is it just a symbol of greatness, or a lasting obsession with power and brutality? In a changing world, do we truly learn from the past, or do we simply repeat old mistakes? And the final question, can humanity continue to exist without paying an excessively high price for power and fame? If you've been captivated by this journey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to continue exploring other historical wonders. The Colosseum is a living treasure you won't want to miss, and we'll continue to bring you more mysterious and intriguing stories from the past. Subscribe now and get ready for the next adventure where legends await discovery.